go with Meg first.
We might as well get the Lily Johannes question out of the way, but obviously a big night. Not just, I want to talk about the goal, but the fact that the team, I think, just looks so excited about that goal and really swarmed her multiple times. What does that say to you about the nature of this team welcoming a 16, almost 17-year-old in?
I've seen that. I've experienced that all week, to be honest with you. I don't think I've ever seen an environment so embracing, so caring about everyone in it. And she doesn't look like a 16-year-old. She knows what I think about her. I have really pushed and wanted her in this squad. Yes, I've seen her a lot, being a former Chelsea coach. So I know what her talents were, and she's a player I've admired, even as the Chelsea manager. So delighted for her to get her first cap, and you could see what not only it meant for her, and I'm sure her family, I've spent time talking with, but also what it meant to her teammates, and it was lovely to watch the celebration of everyone.
Lakin, just so you know, Lily's 16 years, 358 days old. She's the 8th youngest player all time to debut and the 3rd youngest to score. Go ahead, Lakin.
Hey, Emma. What is your just biggest takeaway from this first camp? And off that, how difficult is it going to be to name an 18-player roster?
Well, I haven't done my reflections yet. I'll do them in a myriad of different ways. Some of it will be done with the staff tomorrow. And then some, I suspect, sat on the plane going home. One thing I have learned is I really realise why this team is so special. From the outside in, it always looked like that. But being on the inside, it's a really, really special place. And when you're in a special place, you can have lots of special moments. And you saw it, even again tonight. It's really, really difficult to play the same team in such a short space of time. I think the team has bought into what it's going to take for us to progress. And I shared a sheet with them earlier around the things that remind them of who they are, especially when you get into the hard moments. You really, really want to know who you are. It's an adaptable team. It's a resilient team. It's a flexible team. These are their words, not mine. And one that's, I'm excited. I get excited by growth, and I'm excited for our development together. And that's really stood out for me this week.
Jeff?
Emma, what did you make of the midfield trio's ability to dictate pace of the game, the starting trio, that is?
In the first half, you're talking about the front.
Lindsay, Corbin, and Rose there.
I'm really encouraging the team to be patient. You have to work spaces, especially when you play blocks. Korea played slightly higher tonight, so the spaces in between were a lot harder to find. My next steps are how to do it in other ways, but I genuinely couldn't have squeezed any more out of the coaching this week without it being too much. But I thought the team remained patient when it didn't. We listened, kept adapting. I thought even though we didn't stick to our structure the way that I wanted in the first half, we absolutely did in the beginning of the second half. And I think then we started to sustain attacks, which is critical. And of course, I always want finishers to come from the bench, no matter the game, to have an impact. And that was the case again today.
In the back there.
I'm curious your thoughts about the environment, given the fact that there was rain throughout the game, that 19,000 were there. What did you think of the environment and the crowd?
I felt like I was at home. I told the girls that at the end. I love the weather. Personally, I was absolutely dying in Colorado the other day. I was sweating. So this for me was absolute heaven. I enjoyed it. Quick pitch, nights under the lights, great crowds. brought a great energy. I loved listening to the drum behind the goal. Felt like I was in Europe. So I better attend a few more MLS games while I'm here. Love the atmosphere. It was brilliant.
Anything else in the room before I go to online? Yeah, go ahead, Sandra.
I know you said that you haven't quite had the time that you wanted to reflect just yet, but is there almost a layer of relief to just be like, this is done now and we're actually going to kickstart things moving forward?
I don't know. I don't feel relief. I genuinely feel excitement. When I think of relief, I remember what it's like to win a title, and you get to the end and you think, that's relief. I feel something very different. I feel like I really can have a big influence on this group. In turn, they're going to have a big influence on me. And I told them that today that no, I haven't stopped smiling all week. I never, of course, I visualised what this would be coming here. And I know of the importance of this team from the outside, but being on the inside, I genuinely value everything it's about. And I genuinely want to do everything to like do my best for the shirt. Like I feel such pride in doing that, but also they've welcomed us all. You know, I've brought staff in from all over the world, and we felt really welcome. And we're newbies, so having to lead but also be new, you know, there's it can be daunting, but I've never felt like I felt supported from the very beginning, and that gives me great confidence.
Obviously, bringing Crystal into camp designated as a forward and her getting about an hour up there tonight, I was curious about your takeaways of her as a player in that position and just her role in the squad in general.
I mean, Crystal's not played a lot of minutes this season, so I wanted to keep her on the pitch. I know what Crystal Dunn's about. She's played for me before, and she'll do whatever the team needs. So being able to play her out wide, I have to start thinking about, you know, which players might fill multiple positions for the team. And of course, I've experimented in as much as I could do in these two games. So, I thought Christy was solid the whole evening in every way, shape and form. And I'm happy to be back coaching her.
Oh, sorry, go ahead, yeah.
Hey, Coach. What did you like from the combination of Smith, Rodman, and Swanson together?
Energy. I like their chemistry. They think whenever players come into the game, I think it's important for them to do that. But I thought it was the same the other night, the other day too. So for us, this is just a standard. No matter who you are, you've got to bring that, whether you start, whether you finish. But I say to people all the time, a football match is 90 plus minutes. It's not a group of 11 people and it ends there. Everybody's going to have a different role at different points. And as long as everybody understands and values that, it doesn't matter who's going to come from the bench. It just happened to be tonight that it was their turn. And I thought they, finished the game in the way that I expect of them.
Steph, and then we'll take a couple online. Up front here.
Coach, with regards to Lily, obviously we saw her for like 20 minutes. It's just the beginning. But what in that time, what did you particularly like about her movement through the midfield, her movement off of Sam Coffey, enabling the wingers, getting, close to the box herself, that sort of thing?
Well, I've seen her in training for the last week. I mean, she's a press-resistant player. She can get out of pressure. It's the weight of pass, the quality of the pass. She plays with the football, whether it's the sole of her foot, the outside of her foot. She's a natural footballer that is confident in her abilities. I think playing in Europe has accelerated her learning plays for a big club in Ajax. But she's been playing in Champions League. I remember her having a good game when Chelsea played them. So she's had exposures that many 16-year-olds, American 16-year-olds, have not had. And it showed there was a maturity to it, even at a tender age. And she manages it. It's her second camp. There's already been a step up from the first to the second. And like I said, it's I want to celebrate her first cap. It's a really special moment for her and her family.
Go ahead, sir.
Emma, you've coached a lot of different players and different teams.
Yeah.
This is a team that you came in where most of the players did not maybe have European experience. Can you talk about, in your principles of play, what was emphasized going into this camp?
Just building on what we've already introduced with the players, and it doesn't matter whether you play in Europe or the US, it's irrelevant. It's making sure that there's complete clarity coming from me to them on what their expectations are. And I think it's been a really good coaching week from all of the coaches to deliver the information succinctly. But we need time to be able to develop that and understand, don't always get that luxury. But I couldn't have asked for any more of anyone this week. And for that reason, I feel happy. But now, between now and next camp, I've got to analyse all the things we've got to get absolutely right leading into the Olympics.
Last one in the room, and then we'll go online. Go ahead.
This year, more than ever, women's sports has been on the forefront of a lot of people's minds. How have you noticed the support that you've been getting since the women's national team has been one of those stalwarts for the kind of game the women's programs have been presenting in the market?
Well, I haven't been here long enough yet, maybe. But what I know is that I certainly feel supported in women's sport in this country in the very short time I've been here. And as you know, I've mentioned it already, I've had so many exposures to different coaches even in the last week. I'm very much excited to contribute to, women's sports in the best way I can and represent this team in the best way I can. But 1 week has felt like 1 year in terms of been working flat out. And I think for the moment it's probably just time to reflect, take a quick break mentally and get fresh and go again.
Kyle Bond from online. Go ahead, Kyle.
Thank you, guys. Emma, congrats on the win.
Hi.
What did you see from Alex Morgan tonight in relation to her place within this team moving forward? I know 18 players. It's just there are a lot of cuts to make, and you've got a very stacked forward unit. So where does her performance tonight leave her moving forward?
I think the team as a whole, did their utmost to deliver the performance that I was asking of them. Alex's role as the 9, to find the right moments to get on the ball, to stretch the team out. It's not always easy when you're playing against the block. The 9 touches it the least amount of times. But I thought she worked across the width of the box really well, linked up in the right moments. Alex is a top professional. She really is. I've seen that all week. And someone who cares deeply about this team and cares deeply about improving and getting better. And, I'm happy with everyone in the squad this week, including Alex.
Tannenwald, go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Hi, Emma. Congratulations on the win. We were talking earlier about wanting to teach this team patience. And I wonder what that part of it has been like for a program that has historically wanted to hit the gas pedal, as you know well, and on defense, as we saw tonight and have seen over the last 2 games, still hits the gas pedal plenty often. What has it been like teaching patience, and how receptive have they been?
I've never heard that phrase before.
It's very American.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm laughing.
Yeah.
I actually said to the team in the huddle pitch side before I made changes. I want you to put your pedal to the metal.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yep. Pedal to the metal.
And Denise said to me, "Don't you ever say that again." But I guess that's sort of what you're referring to. You cannot compete at the very top level in a transitional game. You just cannot. You just cannot. The top teams in the world will pick us off and we'll spend a game running and we will lack control. And when you lack control, when you're doing more running, you can't play a consistent team again and again and again. Why? Because physically it's going to be so demanding. So the team understands the demands of the top level game and they're applying all those best things. And that's why I always say sometimes it might feel to the public like, I want it to be a bit quicker, I want more of it, but be careful what you wish for on that front, because when we get into the biggest games against the best opponents, I want to make sure the US are in the best position to control games and not the other way around. So I really want to commend the team for their application of doing that, because I thought we were measured in both games for large periods, and where we were not, that's where there's room for growth.
Last two. Andrew Jones, go ahead.
Thank you, Aaron, as always. Emma, ever since the end of Chelsea season, you've been straight right into the job here, and you mentioned taking a little bit of a break. For you, what does that consist of while staying plugged in this real transitional period?
Well, I have a staff meeting tomorrow outlining, working on our reflections, and from there presenting the project plan from now until next camp, then preparing the timelines all the way through the Olympics so that the plan is articulated to staff. I won't share that with the players until after the squad has been determined. I will go home, get Harry back to school because he's a day late, and I hope I don't get fined for that. That won't get picked up in England. I'm just like, I need to get fresh. 10, 11 months is a long time. I just need the rest of the week, and then I'll probably be back out in Chicago to do the next step of the plan, and then be in New York in July.
Andrew Carlisle, go ahead. Andre, sorry, go ahead, Andre.
No worries, appreciate it. Thanks, Emma. This is Andre Carlisle, Diaspora United. Wanted to just ask about your learning from the team. You mentioned that it's a very caring environment, of course, but this is your first time with them, of course, first couple camps and trainings. What else have you learned from this group?
How bright they are, like exceptionally bright. They can articulate concepts and ideas in a way that really challenges me, so I'm enjoying that challenge. Real cerebral group, thoughtful, but really considerate of everyone. That's really stood out to me. And not afraid of like letting go of things we have to let go of. Like bold enough, brave enough to want whatever it takes to improve. Like, been so impressed with them as people, and they're good company, really good company. I don't know them that well, not all of them, but they've been really enjoyable company.
All right, this is really the last one. Theo Lloyd Hughes, go ahead.
Hi, Emma. Sorry, I'll let you get on. I just wanted to quickly know, did you have a chance to chat to Lily when she was in Amsterdam, kind of before you'd officially taken the job, about joining the national team? And kind of secondly, did you give her a warning that she was going to play tonight? Like, did you just yesterday or today say, hey, by the way, that, this is happening?
You mean speak to Lily while I was away in Champions League for Chelsea? Is that what you're referring to?
Yes.
I think he was.
Before you officially became USA.
I'd never do that. But I have spoken with Lily and her dad and met with her. Actually, did I meet with her or did I have a Zoom with her? I can't remember. I did meet her dad though when I was in Amsterdam. I can't remember. I'm sorry. I can't remember.
But did she know she was going to get on tonight?
Yes, she did know she was going to get on tonight. That was made clear to her at the beginning of camp. And there's been a build up towards this. So, yes, she knew that was happening. But I don't think I have. I have never met Lily before she came to camp. She's really tall.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Emma.
Cheers.